Mobile water, unique in every way.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Hashtag Stop Galamsey Now. The Midday News is live on Joy 99.7 FM, on Hits 103.9 FM in Accra, and we're on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. We're also on myjoyonline.com and affiliates in all 16 regions of Ghana on X Spaces, Facebook, and YouTube. The Midday News is proudly brought to you by Petrosol Platinum Energy. We're also live on all our social media handles and on Facebook as well. Coming up, 4 days and 3 nights. That's how long former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been in the custody of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. We have details as his lawyers continue to make frantic efforts to secure his release.
I can't tell you that, Kojo. I can't. I am not in a position to do that. I can only wait for that meeting to be made.
I thought
and
that
our lawyers, they are fighting it. So I don't know that. At least they have not educated me on that.
Lawyers for Kwabena Idubuahin Samuel Atachan launches scathing attack on the Attorney General over his decision to enter nolle prosequi on certain cases, branding the move as politically motivated rather than guided by the rule of law.
So it is a political decision. It's not because of the fact that you have the power to enter nolle prosequi, but that is a decision of the NDC.
Details as he insists the National Signals Bureau case will tilt in favor of his client, dismissing the prosecution's argument as weak and unconvincing. Also this afternoon, National Union of Ghana Students threatens to petition President John Dramani Mahama and Speaker of Parliament over what they term as exclusion of students from the newly inaugurated Ghana Scholarship Authority Board.
We intend to either petition office of the President, the Minister of State, or maybe Speaker of Parliament.
We have details, plus drivers and passengers express fear over RGP orders and the withdrawal of police in Tamale, Wale Bogatanga Highway.
There's no police on the road. If you are traveling in the night time, it's very risky for we. If the police are bad, we all will be very graceful because at times.
We have that and more here on the Midday News. My name is Fostina Sarfo. Please stay for details. This afternoon, it is now 4 days and 3 nights since the former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta was taken into custody by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. His legal team admit they cannot say when he will walk free. Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta has been in custody of the U.S. ICE enforcement since Tuesday following questions over his immigration status. A statement from his lawyers say he's cooperating fully with authorities while negotiations continue. They insist his pending adjustment of status is a standard immigration procedure and should be resolved quickly. But speaking on the matter, lawyer Frank David says despite intense efforts by the U.S. attorney, there are still no clear indications when the former finance minister will be released.
Oh, I can't tell you that, Kojo. I can't. I am not in a position to do that. I am not a speculative lawyer. Neither am I a clever one. So I'll wait for the process to be determined. And then when in the fullness of time they make a decision, the Ghanaians will know. You be the first. You be the first that I'll speak to.
So it is not as people say that he is afraid he will be detained when he comes.
Afraid of what?
Of being detained.
In the streets of Accra before he left.
That was during the
Afraid of
presidency
what?
of his government.
He's afraid of what? He'll be afraid that when he comes, what?
He will be detained.
So, but Keno Forata was here when the new government took office.
But he left when his government was still in charge.
Yeah, he left when his government was in charge. He came back. When he was leaving again, his government was out of office.
When did he come back?
When did he come back?
Yes.
Why? When he went for the COVID treatment, he didn't come back.
Oh, he came back. But in January, when he was leaving, the MPP was still in power.
The MPP was still in power.
Yes.
Yes, so that is why extradition processes have been activated. Is that not also a legal remedy? He left with notice. So if the circumstances of his stay are suggestive of the fact that he can't come back to the country, he will stay where he is. Processes have been activated. Why are those processes follow? That matter will also be determined as to whether he should be extradited or not. It's another kettle of fish.
Okay.
We are not dealing with a purely immigration matter. Purely immigration matter. Strictly and solely for the purpose of a determination of it. Immigration status.
Do you perchance know how long you stay in the detention center for?
Could you base?
Oh, I'm only trying to
you want to pass through my head?
No, I'm not.
And get to my leg?
No.
I just told you that I'm not a clairvoyant. I'm not a speculative lawyer. I can only wait for that decision to be made.
I thought
that
because
they are fighting it.
Because so I was thinking that you know from them when it is likely that he will be out of the detention.
That are what?
That you know from them, your counterpart lawyers there, when he is likely to be out of the detention center.
Oh, I don't know that.
You heard the member of the legal team for Ken Ofori-Atta, Frank Davis. Well, he has also rejected suggestions that his application for extension of stay is an indication of avoiding accountability in Ghana. We'll delve into that shortly, but my colleague Michael Ashali is in the studio. We've just been doing some digging just to find out where exactly Ken is and his current state as we speak. Michael, what do we know?
Well, first, we know quite a number of things about the facility that is in. We know that this is supposed to be the Caroline Detention Facility, and this is also the former Virginia jail in the U.S. And this facility, you know, that can hold up to 336 adult detainees, which now includes former finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta. Depending on ICE contract and population levels, well, we know that the Caroline Detention Facility is one of two major ICE detention centers in Virginia. Now, in 2025, both facilities, we know, were running at high occupancy levels, reflecting broader trends of increased ICE detention since Trump's immigration crackdown. Now, in fact, as of this November 28, 2025, the Caroline Detention Center had surpassed its maximum capacity, according to some local news outlets in the U.S. As of November 20, the average daily detainee population of the facility was around 346. So, former finance minister is not alone. He's in there with quite a number of people. According to the data that we have managed to put together from the TRAC immigration, now 10 more inmates beyond its designated capacity in that particular. The facility, we know, does not have a good reputation for managing detainees based on some of the checks that we've done. In 2023 inspection of the Caroline Detention Facility found out the facility did not comply with even requirements for its voluntary work program. But this again precedes Donald Trump's time. So this is exactly what we know about that particular facility, that it is one of the key ones that have been housing a lot of detainees since the ICE agents began to use it actively in 2025. What we are expecting is that we heard from Frank Davis is that they are going to be trying to get their case through, but it's been already 4 days and 3 nights and we haven't heard so much as in a positive way where finance minister will be working free again in the U.S. It remains to be seen how exactly this is going to go, especially since it's being held in this particular facility.
Thank you, Michael. But we can now hear from lawyer Frank Davis. He's rejecting suggestions that his application for extension and stay in the U.S. is a way to evade accountability. Listen.
That one has been done, and if we all know what he is suffering from, it is not easy. After that, you have to go through a period of recuperation. And that is exactly what he is doing. So he is in consultation, constant consultation with his medical team. And if they have advised that the state at which they are, it is imperative for him to continue to remain in the state so that they can attend to him. What is exactly wrong with that? What is exactly wrong with that? Why? Because he is with that. What is exactly wrong with that? Why? Because he is a person of suspect or a supposed accused person. His fundamental human rights and liberties are curtailed. Is that what we want to be told as Ghanaians? That as a Ghanaian, he can't seek medical treatment outside this country? Of course, Keno Forata's visa period lapses next month on the 14th of February, as you are aware. Today is the 7th of January. If for one reason or the other he thinks, based upon consultation with his doctors, that he has to remain in the state for a further period for him to be attended to, it is imperative that he activates the processes that will guarantee him the stay in America. And that is exactly what he has done. And this is a routine, customary, common, normal practice in every jurisdiction of this world. It's not only in America. If you visit the country and when you are supposed to leave, something occasions and you are not able to leave, you apply to continue to remain there. What is so strange about this? So yes, he has applied for his stay to be extended. And the petition is with the ICE. They will determine it, and in the fullness of time, we will all know whether he has merit in his petition or not. So people should not be casting all kinds of aspersions and veiled innuendos and insinuations as if he is doing something so extraordinary. Come on, please.
Away from that, lawyer for former Signals Bureau boss Kwabena Edubuahin Samuel Atacha has criticized the Attorney General's decision to enter nolle prosequi in some high-profile cases, describing the move as politically motivated rather than rooted in the rule of law. Speaking on the AM show on Joe News, the former Boakwa South MP expressed concern over the discontinuation of cases involving Dr. Kwabena Dumfor and 7 others, which the Attorney General said was informed by progress in asset recovery and the complex legal nature of the case. Mr. Tachan also said the National Signals Bureau boss and the case involving his client Kwabena Edubuahin will go in favor of the accused, insisting that despite heavy publicity, the prosecution's evidence in court is simply weak.
I was very, very, very disturbed when the Attorney General entered nolle prosequi for people who have been arraigned before a court of competent jurisdiction for various offences. Immediately they were ushered into power. So what will happen? If I should be president and it is found that, an MPP individual, has fallen foul of the law, I'm of the view that let due process run. Let it continue.
Would it be a problem of a person who is an Attorney General or the law that allows the Attorney General to enter nolle prosequi? I ask, what do you think is the problem? Is it the law as we have it, because then people can hide behind the law? Or it is the person who occupies a particular role?
It is the democratic posture of the government. Attorney General will not function that way, that I've entered nolle prosequi, when it has, serious financial consequences as well, and people who have been arraigned and even somewhere, on trial. So it is a political decision. It's not because of the fact that you have the power to enter nolle prosequi, but that is a decision of the NDC.
Well, he also stated that the case involving his client, the former Director General of the National Signals Bureau, Kwabena Edubuahin, will go in their favor. He argued that while the case received excessive publicity, the evidential support presented by the prosecution in court lacks substance.
I believe that there was an over-advertisement of this case, but the evidential support, in the court of competent jurisdiction, is very anemic, and that is the challenge, because if you got even a prosecution witness trying to explain that, but these things are what we do, and the very account is a national security account and not a private account. At least much to be desired, but this is what happened. I don't know whether there is an over-dramatization that, oh, let's be seen to be prosecuting people. And madam, we should be very mindful of the fact that it is easy to do your razzmatazz in the public and in the media space, but it's extremely difficult to prove that this is a case which is beyond reasonable doubt, and therefore you secure conviction. The two are not the same.
Away from that, the National Union of Ghana Students is threatening to petition President John Dramani Mahama, Speaker of Parliament Alvin Bagging, over what it describes as the exclusion of students from the newly inaugurated Ghana Scholarship Authority Board. The board was inaugurated by the Education Minister Haruna Idrisu under Act 1149, which strengthens the authority's mandate and centralizes the award of scholarship. The Education Ministry has dismissed NUG's concerns, saying students' interests are adequately represented through civil society organization. NUGS, however, rejects this explanation and says it is preparing formal petition to both the President and the Speaker to demand direct student representation.
We are representing the students, and we must have a rep on the Scholarship Authority Board. So on our next action, we intend to either petition office of the President, the Minister of State, or maybe Speaker of Parliament, to see how we can find an amicable resolution to this. But in the alternative, if you look at some of our demands, we demand that the Scholarship Authority Act must be amended under a certificate of urgency, or better still, the President has the power to make an appointment, about 3 of them. The President can revoke one appointment, and in the alternative or in the short run, nominate a student rep on the board, so that whilst we are dealing with amending the act, we can also have a rep to have a say in whatever goes on in the Scholarship Authority Board.
You heard the President of NUGS, Rashid Ibrahim. Away from that, let's go to other regions now and look at some of the key things that are happening. We start with the Vice President. She has also been on the grounds visiting some regions. Government is urging its political appointees to desist from serving personal interests as it enforces a strengthened code of conduct to promote accountability and ethical governance. Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman made this call during a visit to Gomwa Onyaze, where she inspected the proposed site for Free Zones Industrial Park under the 24-hour economy initiative. She stressed that the code is key to building public trust as government pursues industrialization, job creation, and economic growth.
Our commitment to justice and transparency remains steadfast. We have implemented and are actively enforcing a strengthened code of conduct for all political appointees and public officials, and I urge all of us to abide by them for the good of our country, for the good of our citizens. Those entrusted with public office must practice integrity, discipline, and accountability, and serve above personal interests. Desist from serving personal interests.
You heard that Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. You're still listening to the Midday News. When we return, the Ghana Radio Astronomy Observatory is on the brink of being rendered useless as the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission raises alarm over loss of lands to encroachers. We have details of that, plus take you to the Tamale Wale Boga Highway, where drivers and passengers are expressing fears after the IGP ordered the withdrawal of police from that route. Stay for details.
No police on the road. If you are traveling in the night time, it's very risky for we. If the police are bad, we all will be very graceful, because at times.
Welcome, contestants, to the final round. Winner takes all. For 1,000 points, all you have to do is give me the correct answer to the following riddle. I am one place, but with the right connection, I can be 1,000 other places. Some people call me magic. Some people call me a feeling. In me, you can be anything you want to be. I'm the most common and yet the rarest place in the whole world. What am I?
A church.
Oh, wrong. Contestant 3, what's your answer?
The answer is home.
Correct! Congratulations to our winner, Contestant 3.
no place like home. Connect your home to super fast internet with affordable data bundles from MTN Home. Visit broadband.mtn.com.gh or your My MTN app to sign up today. MTN.
Thanks for staying with us. Well, the Ghana Radio Astronomy Observatory is on the brink of being rendered useless after losing over 80% of its land to encroachers. The observatory, the only radio astronomy facility in the sub-region and a key part of the global effort to build the largest radio telescope on the planet, has been squeezed from 163 acres to less than 30. Scientists warn that radio emitting activities around the site are drowning out the faint signals from space, threatening research that requires a strictly radio silent zone. Meanwhile, GAIEC's Director of Communications, Nana Boateng, says the Commission is determined to reclaim its lands, cautioning that if the facility is lost, Ghana loses far more than land. It loses its place in global space science.
I mean, we're working very closely with the security agencies to support us with patrolling and warding off the illegal occupiers of the land. We'll continue to demolish, and we'll also continue to take it up legally in the law courts by suing some of them. Yeah.
Well, join me now is GAIEC's Director of Communications, Nana Boateng. We appreciate your time here on the Midday News. You say that this is threatening Ghana's gains. What exactly do we lose?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Anna.
Yes, good afternoon to your cherished listeners. Yes, so the Ghana Radio Astronomy Observatory, it's one of Ghana's largest satellite infrastructure we have, and national assets that needs to be protected. And with the events of encroachment on the land, the full utilization of such a facility is seen. And we seek to lose a lot by encroachment. And so the reason why we are doing all we can in our best energies that these encroachments are stopped. Move ahead to engage the necessary apparatus that are helping us and facilitating the halt to this encroachment. It's a situation that needs to be halted right away. The country seeks to lose a lot because that facility is what enables us to observe our space. And Ghana is positioned in a very strategic position on the globe. We are very close to the equator, and so the space area around the is seen best from Ghana. And this particular facility is what's being used by Ghana as a nation, and even other global entities and countries like South Africa, India, US, they all partner us to observe the space from the equator using this facility. And with the activities of encroachers and residents coming around that area, it's affecting the activities of the research that we do of observatory.
And how do you plan to reclaim these lands? How are efforts so far?
Yeah, so this issue has been escalated to national level with discussing national security issues. We've also pursued legal actions against most of the residents in the area. They will be served notice to meet our legal court.
When will they be served the notice?
No, so this is work in progress. There are a lot of residences around in there. Already, we've managed to secure by building the wall to prevent further. And we've also served notice to people not to come closer. We've actually put out notice and information announcement out in the public domain to desist from buying lands from encroachers and landlords who intend to sell these type of lands, because these are government lands. If you risk buying this land, you put yourself at risk.
Thank you so much for your time here on the Midday News. You've been listening to the Director of Communications at GAEC, Nana Boateng. Away from that, the Managing Director of the Ghana Publishing Company, Nana Kwesi Boateng, has revealed that before the new administration took over, the company was in dire financial strain with a bank balance of only 400,000 Ghana cedis. This situation, he says, forced management to resort to an overdraft facility to pay staff salaries in January 2025. Speaking during a visit by President John Mahama to the facility, the CEO said that since the new administration assumed office, the company's financial position has improved.
And so we took a decision to take inspiration from the 24-hour economy. And I met management and gave them ultimatums that in 3 weeks, we're starting a night shift, which made it 2 shifts to be able to cut the numbers and make it useful. Otherwise, we were supposed to sack 100 people. And it is the best thing that, in my opinion, has happened to this company. Gazettes that were taking 8 weeks now started coming in 3 weeks. And we're able to introduce a 24-hour Gazette turnaround. So if you came today, you could get it tomorrow. It gave us avenue to take a little more revenue.
Well, President John Dramani Mahama, in his remarks, said the 24-hour economy will be established soon. He said this will pave way for the implementation of the policy, including the registration of all businesses that will participate in the initiative.
I'm happy to note that the Minister has lobbied the Minister of Education and the Minister of Finance, that when we start the printing of the textbooks and learning materials, Ghana Publishing should get a big chunk of that contract so that you can raise more money to continue the retooling exercise that you're doing. I like the innovative thinking that you have brought into this establishment.
Away from that, drivers and passengers using the badly deteriorated Tamale Walewale Bogatanga Highway are expressing growing fear after the police ordered that officers be withdrawn from one of the busiest transport corridors in the northern sector. The withdrawal, reportedly ordered by the Inspector General of Police, follows intelligence suggesting possible imminent attacks on officers stationed at the checkpoint along the route. Road users warn that the already poor condition of the highway, combined with the absence of police presence, could embolden highway robbers and place lives at risk. Our correspondent Ilyas Otango has more in the following report.
The Tamale Walewale Bolgatanga section of the National Road 10 is one of the most strategic transport corridors in northern Ghana. It links the northern, northeast and upper east regions and serves as a vital route for the movement of people, foodstuff, fuel and commercial goods to and from neighboring countries, particularly Burkina Faso and Togo. Despite carrying a high volume of traffic, the highway has suffered years of neglect and has deteriorated to dangerous levels. It is riddled with potholes, contributing to frequent accidents and creating opportunities for robbery attacks. Vehicle breakdowns are also common due to the poor state of the road. As part of measures to secure the highway against robbery and other road offenses, the Ghana Police Service previously increased the number of checkpoints and deployed additional personnel. These measures led to a significant reduction in attacks and accidents along the route. However, for the first time in the history of this busy transport corridor, a violent incident against the police has resulted in the complete closure of nearly 20 checkpoints and the withdrawal of all police personnel along the highway. Here is the Walewale District Police Commander, ASP Seth Ejekum, confirming the IGP's directive.
We will be there upon the recommendations from the regional commander, by extension IGP.
The security withdrawal has left one of the busiest highways in northern Ghana unguarded, with drivers and passengers expressing fears of a possible surge in robbery attacks and road crashes.
It's very bad. The way the road is, no police on the road. If you are traveling in the night time, it's very risky for we. If
the police are back, we all will be very grateful, because at times if they are there, I can move for the 10 o'clock or even 11 o'clock.
From Walewale, Ilyas Sotanko reporting for Joy News.
That's how we wrap up the Midday News. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Fostina Sarfo. Good afternoon.